yoga be used so much by now that it's almost lost all meaning. So why am I here doing 30 whole days of it? Let's start at the starting point. My starting point. I'm a little tired of seeing before and afters. I'm guilty of it. Other people are guilty of it, and I just like to stop thinking about it like that for my own sanity. I think it's important for me to measure things because it's interesting and it's cool to see how things change when we change how we live. But a lifetime of movement isn't a before and after. It's a continuous line, and this is just 2 points on that line. So here's me on April 28th, 2021. Here's what I was looking like that day, which varies depending on what I ate, whether I'm on my period, and whether I feel like posing. Because this is yoga, and one of the things yoga helps with is flexibility, here's me doing some basic poses on April 28th to show you where I was at. The rules were simple for this one. 30 days of yoga and at least 20 minutes of yoga per day, every day. Week 1, I was so ready to go. I wanted to become a beautiful pretzel as fast as possible, but I also knew I'd done some yoga with Adriene classes in the past and loved her. I knew I had to start here. If you've never done yoga before and all the names of the poses are completely unfamiliar, I am still very much learning, so I still definitely get this. Yoga with Adriene is the best place to start. It is truly like doing yoga with a warm and lovely friend with a ton of focus on taking things slow, going at your own pace, and making sure you know what you're doing before you jump in and potentially hurt yourself. This week was hard. I was so ready to just go pretzel. Being forced to slow down was really tough. I tried a few different classes from the many different series Adriene has on her channel and really loved the breath one. Her voice is very relaxing, her dogs are adorable, and the first 5 to 10 minutes of every class is very slow to start. She reminded me that yoga is not about pretzeling. It's about movement and stillness and quieting your busy brain. It's about going at whatever pace your body needs that day and stopping when you need to. These things carried me through the rest of the challenge and made sure that I started in a really good place. Okay, so if you've heard of Adriene before, you might know that she has a very popular 30-day yoga challenge on her channel. Yes, before you ask, I knew this. Yes, I considered doing it for this video, but I really wanted to try other things, other programs, other people. I have a tendency to get stuck in a little cozy hole I dig for myself, only doing one program because I get too comfortable with it. Does anyone else do that? So I really wanted to try a few different programs this month. I included Glow in here for 2 reasons. 1, I've never heard of them before, and 2, when I was researching this video, it kept popping up absolutely everywhere, and it shocked me. It ended up being my absolute favorite week. If you want to focus on yoga or Pilates or HIIT, I think they even have bar classes on there, there is literally no better program than Glow. They have a million different classes in so many different styles, some of which I have never even heard of, and they even do live classes. On top of that, they have Taylor Harkness. Taylor is one of the many instructors on Glow, and although I tried a few different teachers, I had the most fun with Taylor's classes. They were really challenging, putting me into poses that I have never seen before. He was so funny and relaxed that it made me laugh and feel relaxed, even when my leg was supposed to somehow maybe go over my head. Glow focused on play, and this is the perfect word for it. By this point, I was beginning to realize that yoga was not about being a serene pretzel. It was about movement and stretching and playing with the different poses. This kept everything really light this week, even though these were some of the hardest classes I've ever done. Like I mentioned, Glow also does live classes, so obviously I wanted to give that a try. I ended up joining this class that was live streamed from Bali. It added something extra to this class, knowing that there was a person who was literally on the other side of the world doing the exact same poses as me at the same time.
Something about the way that you move.
If you've seen my 30 days of working out challenge, you've heard me talk about Centr. If not, what are you doing here? No, but really, Centr is Chris Hemsworth's fitness app. And recently they did a program called Centr Align, which is a mixture of Pilates and yoga classes, and I thought it would be perfect. Here's the problem. As much as I love Centr, the yoga classes are not my favorite. Something about them tends to make me feel more off-centered than when I started the class. Still, because they were new, I decided to give them a try. The classes are definitely harder, but less fun than Adriene's. Also, I kept finding that I would almost pull a muscle because I don't think the beginning of the class warmed you up enough before getting into the deeper stretches, so be careful there. I found that this week was also the week where I took advantage of the rule I made for myself. 20 minutes minimum, no video required. There were quite a few nights this week where I just rolled out my mat and did my own little routine, which was really nice. I found that I could do it while watching TV or a movie. Overall though, this week was such a shame because I love the rest of the Centr app so much.
Waking up feeling like it's gonna rain.
I have tried Alo Moves before. in my 30 days of barre video, but their main focus is definitely yoga. So I saved this for last because I thought it would be my favorite. I was ready to do some harder classes, get into some weirder positions, and finish off with ringer. The first class I took though, the instructor talked about needing to do certain poses so that we're not weak, and generally spent the rest of the time making me feel like if I didn't do something, I wasn't good enough. Coming from 3 weeks of amazing instructors who made it their mission to make sure that you knew you should listen to your body, not push too hard, and just have fun, this was a little jarring for me. I am all for instructors that push you and tell you can do better, go further, etc. But this just felt like the opposite. After the first class, I told myself that it was just the instructor and moved on to others. Generally though, Alo Moves' classes are beautifully filmed, interesting, and well created, but the tone is so much more serious. Most of the other programs point out that yoga is not about you or what you look like while you're doing it, but about the breath or the movement itself. These felt more like workout classes that focused on an end result. They were hard and sweaty, but not as fun. Over the past 30 days, I realized that this challenge was not about what I thought, which was becoming more flexible, more centered, more serene. It was about putting aside a small portion of the day to not be stressed out and just focus on movement. This month was one of the most stressful months I've had so far this year, and yet I was nowhere near as stressed as I should have been. Sometimes I get caught up in how I look in a pose. I'm worried that my roll of skin is going to show between my sports bra and my leggings. I worry that my body is hunched weird or that I forgot to shave under my arms. I feel like I'm not a calm yoga goddess who walks serenely into a class. None of these things are realistic or worth spending any time on. I want to know what yoga is for you. First off, have you ever tried it? Did you like it? And if you have and you did, how do you use it now? Do you use it as a stretch between your other workouts? Do you use it as a way to wake up or fall asleep? Is it a weekly standing on your head? Is it a slow stretch in the same pose for 5 to 10 minutes? I really want to know because frankly, I am tired of the way I've been used to thinking about it. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. I do these challenges as often as I can. I post new videos every Thursday. If you like this video, I would love if you join the small community we've got going and help me start a conversation about movement. If there's a certain challenge you'd like to see, I'd love to hear ideas in the comments, whether it's Pilates, hiking, walking, or hula hooping. Until next week, thank you so much for watching and join again.